being the wild and wonderful land of PICRAs, because I have seen some wild requests lately, which I'm sure with the amount of listings that David's had in the last year, he's probably seen some absolutely
58.
58 listings last year. He's probably seen some wild PICRA requests. Jordan probably has as well. But part of the issue with the wild requests that we get is the way that they're written. And they're written extremely poorly. We need to be very clear on how we're writing them and what we're requesting when we're requesting a repair. A lot of times, what I'm seeing is page XYZ of the home inspection. This thing is broken. Thank you for informing me that this thing is broken. That's it. That doesn't mean anyone has to repair it. That doesn't mean that, thanks for letting us know. I've also seen ones where agents aren't reading the actual request and their sellers are signing it blindly. And really and truly, what they're asking for is a much larger scope of work than what they think that they're asking for. So we're gonna, what?
Who wouldn't read it?
Oh, you can get
More than not, a lot.
a lot,
They trust their agent and they just,
a lot,
there's document to sign, they sign, keep the
a
ball moving
lot.
That's the agent reading.
because they are doing.
We all have questions, Kim. We all have questions that, and people get kind of tricksy with language. So specifically, there was one that was an outside wall of a garage, and people don't know which direction the insulation is supposed to face. Okay? Which direction does the insulation face?
The insulation shows out and doesn't the
Paper
finished
goes
side,
on the outside and you staple the paper and the insulation faces the wall.
The fluff faces out.
No, fluff faces in.
fluff faces out.
And you take the paper and staple the paper to the 2x4s.
I would like you to look up the manufacturer instructions.
Because it's the opposite. That seems like the logical way, and that's the way 98% of everyone does it.
I would like you
Supposed
to
be the opposite.
pull up take your phone and look up the manufacturer instruction.
Well, if I got a baton sitting in my garage.
Like everyone gets it wrong. And the way that the manufacturer instruction, like if you look it up, in home inspectors get it wrong, agents get it wrong, clients get it wrong. The way that it is written is very confusing.
YouTube gets it wrong.
YouTube gets it wrong. Everybody gets it wrong. You got to look up the manufacturer specific instruction on insulation. It's supposed to fit, the insulation is supposed to face the exterior wall, the fluffy bit, right? So weird, right? So there's an exterior wall of a garage, okay? The part facing out. And they asked for the insulation to be flipped around, even though it was already facing the right way, and for the garage wall, because it was just insulation, it doesn't need to be a completed wall, okay? Because it is an exterior wall, right?
And unfinished.
It is an unfinished, it is an unconditioned space.
Living.
And the way that this buyer's agent worded this was they wanted it to be completed. Because the other side that was touching the house, right? Because this is an attached garage, had been drywalled. Okay. And this other side was not. The way that they worded it is that they wanted it, the insulation flipped and finished.
When it already has been the right way to begin with.
Correct. But they wanted it flipped and finished.
So they wanted it, and finished means, do you want it drywall?
Correct.
And painted
And this other person almost, and the other side was really nice, like finished drywall. So this other agent almost had their seller sign it. I was like, hang on a second. Un momento, por favor. What do you mean finished? What do you mean? Finished how?
A lot of room for babies.
That is far too vague. What do you mean? And it said covered. I believe it said covered and finished.
Covered with what? That,
Covered and finished? That and it's a big garage. It's a two-car garage. And it's deep. It's as deep as the whole house. So it's like 40 feet. That's
a lot of money.
that's a lot of money. Like covered and finished. I don't know. Jordan, you got thoughts? I know you got thoughts. So, anyways, I've got a home inspection here that I am going to show you in 2.5 seconds. Okay. This is a home inspection that I did on a recent property, and it was actually really, really nice. There so I'm gonna let you guys just, and you guys online can participate if you would like to. You do not have, there we go. Just, we're gonna pull out a couple of things that you guys see that you guys want to write. If you guys do not have anything that we want to write, and we're just gonna write them. You can pull out 5 things. You can pull out 10 things. We're just gonna write them properly. Unless you would like to discuss something that you saw written really poorly. Unless anybody else has anything that they would like to write. I do have them pre-written, unless anybody else.
99% of the time, I'm the listing agent, so the pictures are coming to me to decipher.
Correct.
But if I am writing one, cannot be ambiguous.
It cannot be ambiguous.
And remember, we're only given X amount of space on a PICRA. You can supplement with addendum page 1, page 2, page 3, whatever you got to do to really make your point, what you're asking for. So you don't have to stay within the confines of the allotted space of the PICRA. You can add addendum.
Correct.
Which I've done several times in order to convey exactly what we're asking for. And always reference the page number and subsection of the report.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've gotten PICRAs, fix this, this, and this, and there's, no reference as to where it is on the report.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we can go through these one by one if you'd like to.
Another thing that I've been seeing recently is, so as a
We
buyer's
start with
agent, I
guardrails.
will,
Well, actually, we start with chimney crown. I apologize. So if we start with the chimney crown where it's cracking and you want to ask for it, because I'm not asking for silly things. We're not. Let's be honest. It's a cracked chimney crown.
But it doesn't show on this PICRA that's on your Zoom.
Oh, can you not see this?
No, we see a blank PICRA.
I'm so sorry. Hang on. Hang
so
on.
Chrissy, I don't know if you've seen this as well.
That one. It's not letting me flip between pages. There we go. Sorry.
There you go.
Chrissy, can you hear me?
It's not letting me slip between. Oh, she didn't unmute herself. Okay, why can't we hear Jordan? Yeah, we can't hear you, Joe.
I mean, Tanya says she can hear me. I'm not muted. Hello, hello.
No, we don't have anything. My volume is at 100. All right, try again,
I
Joe.
don't know. Hello?
Jordan,
Testing?
she was having issues earlier today too with the computer and everything.
Jordan, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I still can't hear Jordan.
I wonder if it's
Hang on.
where the sound's coming out from, the
There you
speakers
go.
that are selected.
That's
It's
what I'm
trying to come through a
thinking.
different speaker.
Okay,
Exactly.
yeah.
Sorry.
Um, no, I was just saying, I don't know if you've seen this a lot recently as well, but so as a buyer's agent, like David was saying, like I always try and be as open as I can. So like I recently asked for um all GFCIs, like all ungrounded and unprotected outlets to be either grounded or protected with GFCI. And I referenced to all the parts in the home inspection that they were at. Well, thank goodness we had the inspector come back at the final walkthrough because the contractors did the outlets that were noted in the home inspection report, but did not do all of them. And the PICRA specifically stated all ungrounded, including but not limited to. And I've started putting that verbiage in my PICRAs because I've been seeing it more and more, is the references
Correct.
are including but not limited to.
Correct, because the home inspection isn't going to take a photo of 40 outlets,
Correct.
like included but not limited to, because like the home inspector doesn't move furniture. They're not going to move
Yeah.
your couch to go find the outlet behind the couch
Of course.
to
Yeah.
take a photo of it. Like those are things that do not happen. I apologize, Joe. I could not hear you.
That's all good. But no, that's just something that I picked up on a lot recently. For people to like hopefully start putting in their PICRAs is yes, always reference the home inspection, but also make sure I put it at the very top that items referenced are from this home inspection on this date and are including but not limited to.
Yeah, as a listing agent, the one thing that I always cross out is when they ask me to further investigate.
And
We
that's
will
something
not.
I always put on as a buyer's agent.
Correct. From the other side, yeah, you're gonna go investigate that. But as a listing agent, I am not opening that can of worms. Kick rocks. That is not something that we are doing. I am not opening a can of worms. I do not want to find out more about whatever is going on. I will fix what is going on, however, within reason. However, I am not going to find out that the house is, you know, I'm not going to go find out why, if that
Yeah, my
makes sense.
favorite line is to further investigate and make any needed or recommended repairs.
Okay. Yeah,
That's my
great.
favorite line as a buyer's agent.
My favorite, that is my favorite line to cross out, Jordan.
Yep.
As a listing agent.
I mean, that,
As a listing agent, it's the first thing I
well,
cross out, but as a buyer's
Yes.
agent, it's the first thing I put on.
Yeah, so which side do we want to write from today? Or do we want to do both? Or do we want to
I
write
would
it from the
say
buyer's side and then go back and cross it all out?
you have-
probably. That's probably the most realistic.
Okay, all right. So we've got this cracking chimney crown, right? So we're gonna write it up and it's on page 12, right? So we're gonna take this, and my favorite thing to do is to basically kind of like just, and this is what I do, right? Is I take this right here and I start plugging them in, okay? And this is just what I do, okay? Is I just take what is in here. Can you guys see this screen again? It's still sharing both?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Copying and pasting to get your template.
I'm getting my
And
template
then
in.
you can embellish on
Okay.
it.
And I was on page 12. Okay. And then we need to ask for it to, be correct, right? So chimney crown had some degree of cracking, right? And of course, we need our magic special language up here, right? So on the top of all of these, we're going to ask that, what are we going to ask for?
Well, first overall, you repairs, you want to specify D4 licensed and insured.
That is correct.
From electricians to plumbers to,
All repairs. To be,
Seller with Class A designation, they can do it all under their flag because they have their subs. They're taking the responsibility with their Class A license, but after Class A,
let's see if I know how to spell today. Licensed, and insured.
Another trick is to, like David said, always put DPOR licensed and insured because a lot of contractors are not licensed through DPOR. So if a seller does a repair and it's not done well at walkthrough, that's another point that your clients can say, well, we specifically asked for a DPOR licensed contractor per the PICRA. You agreed
Is
to
it
it, didn't do it.
is it IE or E receipts?
I before E.
I before
after
E?
C.
Well, it is after C. This is ah, I can't spell. We all know this though, because I'm dyslexic. Just bear with me. Um, we get the gist. Good enough. All right. So we got our chimney crown.
And this is common request.
Yes. Common request. So we have a cracked chimney crown. I personally, we can't replace a chimney crown. It is concrete, right? So we need a mason. Um, and I want it repaired. I don't want anything else but it repaired. Period. The end.
Hey, Chrissy, just so you know, all I can see on my end is the home inspection.
Oh, I keep having to reshare this.
Yeah, unless you can line them up like two windows in one, I think that, or if you're only sharing one tab.
I'm sharing multiple, but I don't know how to make it. There we go. Sorry.
There.
I don't know what why it keeps doing this. I don't know why it keeps not letting me. It's not, it wants to be a pain in the butt today.
So I'm blaming the solar flares. Everything is solar flares today.
Why can't, oh, entire screen? Can I do entire screen? Is that more, if I share entire screen, you can see everything, right?
I am only seeing the PICRA now.
Okay. Okay.
But maybe switch back and forth and let's see.
Okay, hang on. Let's see entire screen. Share. What about that? Is
Something
that more?
happened, but I'm still only seeing the PICRA.
Yeah, that's what I'm on right now. But what
Okay.
happened?
Yeah.
But, oh my God. Seriously?
We'll click on the other one real quick.
Hang on. I'm trying. But now it's stuck. Nope, it's stuck.
Yeah.
Now I'm stuck in Zoom. No.
I'm seeing your desktop right now.
There, because I'm stuck now
There
because I
you
shared the entire
go.
screen.
There you go. It's
I
fine.
shared the entire screen and now my taskbar is stuck down there. Okay, let me not do that. let me just share that. And yeah, because now when I share the entire screen, my taskbar gets stuck at the bottom. So I'm gonna have to flip flop back and forth. On to the next. Okay. So I personally do not like to write these. Jordan, do you have a different preference on these low-lying areas
What do you
as a
mean?
buyer's agent on
I
these home
mean,
inspections?
it depends. Where's it
Okay.
at? Is it in a flood zone? Are the
It
buyers
is.
concerned about it? Is there waviness apparent underneath the house already and
The-
moisture issues underneath the house already? Like,
okay, so this one in particular, this house, is in a flood zone. It was off of Mains Creek. There is no moisture issues under the house. It was surprisingly dry. It had just gotten a new roof on it. It's actually was in really good shape for being built in like 1970.
hmm
So there was no moisture issues. It obviously has gutters on it, but it is in a flood zone.
so if it was dry, it doesn't appear like and they've got gutters on there pointing water away from
Yeah, and the extent,
the house.
Yeah.
I would not be,
that's as
that's
good as
not
you're gonna
red
get.
flags to me, but
Yeah.
it would depend on the buyer and what they're
Yeah.
scared of.
And the seller's gonna cross it right out.
Yeah. This is one of those that is super controversial to me. Considering we basically build on water beds. Um, that
And remember, the home inspector is there and getting paid. They're gonna cite everything like they're earning their paycheck.
yeah, of course
Sometimes
they
they
are.
make mountains out of molehills.
Okay.
Some are
Um,
very justified, but sometimes, uh,
Diligent, he was not.
well, there's two sides of it.
there's two sides of the coin. This is one of those that I kind of like I try and take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Like you build up one area to push water into another. Yeah, it's
Already super low.
I prefer like okay, I do have a lower lying area like it unless we're installing French drain systems, like what am I really going to do about it? You know what I mean?
I was gonna say a French drain system is about the only thing I would think could be done. And that's one of those. It's also like a big picture thing. So yes, that's an
Yeah,
individual
I mean,
item, but
if
when you're
there's
looking at the
going to
full
the house,
picture,
that was a contributing factor, a French drain would need to be installed.
Right. And then like then there's the sump pump option. But if you're in a flood zone, like where are you pumping flood water to? Like, you know, we're pumping it back into the floodwaters.
For it to come right back, yeah.
Like your poor sump pump's underwater. Where's she going? So for me personally, this is one of those that it's like, okay, this is like your big picture item. Like call somebody out after you've closed, and like this is one of those homeowner things. Like we should really just kind of like big picture this and like let's plan for French drains. I myself put in a French drain at my own home with a shovel and a husband. Okay. And these are another one for me that are, that let's ask for it. Um, if we want to, this is also another one that like I've seen agents that do this, that'll count on the appraisal for these. If your client is concerned about this, I highly do not recommend doing this because I have seen some wackadoodle appraisals here lately that have not tagged anything. I had a hole in the side of the brick facade on a VA appraisal get passed. I questioned whether they had gone to the right house. And when I say a hole in the side of the house, I do mean that it literally looked like, where the power and cable line come into the side of the brick. It looked like a dump truck went by, grabbed that line, and yanked out the brick. It was about a 4x4 hole in the side of, no, it was like a 4x4 hole in the side of that brick, missing. All the kitchen cabinet doors missing, the wooden windows duct taped shut, and the HVAC didn't work. And it passed on a BA. I was like,
And the seller's like, yes.
my buyer was like, yes.
That happened to me, and the seller's agent called my agent and said, yep, we appraised at value and no repairs made. How does she know? She's not supposed to have anything to do with it. It's my lender who calls for that VA inspection. How the hell did she know before my lender did?
She met the appraiser.
If she met the appraiser there, then the
And greased his palm. No, there were issues that I was counting on the appraiser to catch. Because I know how picky they're supposed to be.
yeah, don't ever do that. Do not do it. I highly do not recommend. Okay.
Because at the end of the day, each appraiser, just like inspector, it's an opinion, and
It's
each
an
one is going to
opinion.
have different things they look for. It's an
And they
educated
have-
opinion, but it's an opinion.
And they have eyeballs,
But regulations are regulations and you're supposed to follow them.
but they are also human beings.
Right, that.
They are human beings and they are picked at random out of a hat and they miss things.
These were pretty impossible to miss.
Girl, I questioned whether I questioned whether that person had gone to the correct house. So we got a loose guardrail and the height is less than 36 inches, right? So we're just gonna ask them to replace the daggone thing, in my opinion.
See, to me, that's usually a who cares. My buyers don't
That
usually
is
care
usually a
about.
who cares. However, if my client is concerned about it because it's red, let's make believe.
Yeah.
We're
If,
in make
if
believe
clients are
land.
really worried about it, then
Because here's the thing, you can't make it taller.
nope,
Just
unless you
let's
make it
just-
ugly.
God help us all. We've seen it done.
Yeah. Some of the things that these contractors come up with to get by cheaply.
Yeah, we've seen it done, and that one is a metal one, so let's just replace it. So we're just gonna replace it. Which let me see which page. Come on, baby. You can do it. I am smart enough. Let's see
And
if I
you
was
want to
smart
put
enough.
something with a like material and similar finish.
Yeah,
to not-
we're gonna do it up. And we are on page 15. Let's see. Well, that was page 15. Okay. Page 15. We got a guardrail. Okay. So let's see.
Me as the seller's gonna go strike,
That's fine.
because it's all negotiable.
It's all negotiable. So
We can all go down the tube.
you know what? Every once in a while, I'll ask for, like if I've got 3 big things I want, I'll ask for 3 big things and 2 stupid things. And that way,
It's like, hey, would you like $3,000 more in closing cost assistance? Yes, please. Get me your no repair PICRA and we'll do that addendum.
you know what? Sometimes I'll ask
So easy. That's the
I'll
easiest
ask for
way to-
three really important things and 2 really stupid things, so they'll cross out the 2 stupid things and give me the 3 things that they really wanted.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I will make my buyers ask, make sure we're clicking these buttons correctly too, guys. Because
Another thing, I don't know, Chrissy, so writing a PICRA is my least favorite part of any real estate transaction, right? And like negotiating the PICRA.
it's my favorite.
Oh gosh, I hate it.
Okay, it's not necessarily my favorite part of negotiate. Well, actually, negotiating is my favorite part. And doing the picker, I don't know. I think I like all the parts of the negotiations.
Yeah, but what I've done and been using recently, to go in with the whole AI stuff that Tom Cena's been working with is I will write up the PICRA and then I'll copy all of my verbiage into ChatGPT and say,
Yeah.
here's the home inspection, upload the home inspection and say, make this list of requested repairs as thorough and best to protect the buyer as possible, or
Oh,
something like that.
absolutely. I do it. I do that as well. I mean, I have language, every piece of hard language that I have ever written, I have it saved in my Google Docs. So, I mean, every piece of crazy picker language that I have ever written is in my Google Docs. Um, I have some wild ones in here. Some
You
absolutely
can
wild
also save it as you can save it as a clause. So that way you can always just insert it if you need to.
ones. I have, I mean, I've got let me see. I have one, let me see. Let me seller to have licensed and insured HVAC technician to ensure natural gas forced air furnaces flue vent discharge pipe is not contacting several wood framing boards in hallway HVAC closet. And then in brackets, this pipe requires a minimum 1 inch clearance from all combustible materials per Virginia code. I will write you a dissertation on how you are wrong. I've got repairs to sewer drain line only to be made based upon the recommendation and expense of the city, as this is a city line. Seller will not take on any expense for this repair. That was my counter to them asking for a drain line to be repaired, and it was damaged. However, it was damaged on the city side. So we were like, hey, we'll call the city, but we ain't doing nothing.
I had that closing out Campus East. The
Mhm.
city side was leaking at the water meter,
Mhm.
not our side to the house.
Yep.
And they wanted to create an issue at walkthrough. It's like, that's not our responsibility.
Correct.
Better close. And they did.
Ooh. Sometimes I do not like this program. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna replace the guardrail on front porch. Yes, and I do love the AI. Like, kind. You want to do like, kind, with, like, finish. To be a minimum of 36 inches in in height. Because that's the problem, right? There you go. Yeah, please take all of your stuff and throw it into the chat GPT, because that is the problem. Is so if we take this, because again, let's lean in, right? Here we go. Oh, I will share my screen real quick. Like Jordan said, if I take that and I'll share my screen real quick with you in one, can you see my chat GPT? Can you guys see it?
Yes. Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. Here you go. If I throw it in there. It just it says what I want it to, but
And it spells everything perfectly.
it spells everything perfectly, obviously.
I love it.
I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to. Please read what ChatGPT kicks back to
Yeah.
you
Oh, please,
before you
God.
make it official.
Put it in the- I use that for public remarks on all my list, and it's like, sometimes we'll still use trigger words, walking distance too.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to give this thing rules that it cannot break
Even when
all
you
the
give
time.
it rules, it will still kick back
It'll still
something
try and
crazy.
break the
Just
rules.
please read and ask Lucy if you have questions.
There you go. Contractor to remove and replace existing front porch guardrail with like kind and like finish. Install in compliance with acceptable Virginia code, blah, 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 blah. There you go. If you want to get super fancy about it. Yeah, I mean, you can use it for everything. If I add, let's see. Let's, there you go.
I'll also say, like Tanya, that was a really good point, Tanya, to always read what ChatGPT kicks back, but also pre-write. Don't just have ChatGPT start it and you finish it off. You pre-write it and then have ChatGPT finish it off. You should always be the one making the majority of your PICRA.
Here you go. It'll pull out the information for you. You just have to be very careful because it'll give you the issues, right? And you can have it just correlate the information so that you can start working off of just the information if you want. You just have to be very careful with it. It's a tool.
Yeah.
It's
An
not,
excellent tool.
it is an excellent tool. However, it's not meant to do it for you. It is strictly a tool. I personally, the way that I do these is like, if I'm going to use this, I do not start with reading, like, I don't do this. I make my buyers, if I'm writing from the buyer side, go through their own home inspection and I make them give me a list. Okay? It is not my home inspection. I do not live there. I am not here to interpret your home inspection for you. That is the home inspector's job. I am not a contractor. I am not going to wear that hat. It doesn't matter how much I know about it. That is a liability risk. That is not our job. Our job is to write contracts. Stay in your lane. Okay? What I am going to do is I am going to get your list from you. Am I going to read your home inspection? 100% I'm going to read your home inspection. Am I going to point out things that I'm going to be like, hey, did you see this other thing? Yes. Ultimately, I do not have to live in your house. I do not have to pay your mortgage. Please put your list in a most important to least important things for me that you would like to ask for. And let's go over this list that you have gone and given me together. And then let me get it written up. And let's weed out the things that you genuinely care about and the things that you do not care about. And then it is my job to write them in a way that genuinely gets them asked for. Okay? And it's my job to write them from the buyer's agent's perspective in a way that is clear and cannot be argued with. I'm not telling the listing agent, hey, this thing is broken. I'm telling them, hey, fix this thing. The home inspection that I'm delivering to them with the request to fix it is telling them that it is broken. I'm telling you, hey, fix this and how to fix it and how I want it to look after the fact. Okay? Like if the refrigerator doesn't work, I need to name a model number and kind of refrigerator that I see that is in stock at the local Home Depot that my client wants. not just replace it with one that kind of looks like it. Because I don't know what they're going to go pick. People be wild out here. I need a model number. I need you to attach the link and the printout from the Home Depot to the email and say, please see attached picture of said fridge from the Home Depot. Hi. Oh, you're good. We are not going to be asking for confusion. We are not asking with just absolutely no clue what we're doing. We want to be specific. The last time I asked for a stovetop, I sent them, please see attached, photograph
serial number.
and serial number. Here's the serial number. Here's the model. Here's the brand. Please see attached. And I sent them hey, this is in stock at the Home Depot. It is this much money. This is the stove we want. And it was within reason. It was only like $300. That's what my client wanted. And that's what he got. And they didn't end up installing it because they didn't have anyone to install it. My client said, I don't care. I got what I wanted. I will install it my damn self. Are we clear? Did you?
Specific language is the key to success.
It is very much the key to success because I will tell you as a listing agent, if you tell me something that is broken and do not ask for it to be repaired, I'm not doing it.
Right.
I've done it before. I'll also tell you as the listing agent that if you do not get your PICRA done on time, I will not entertain it. If you miss your deadline.
Oh, absolutely.
But keep in mind, if it's a condo and they haven't signed off on condo docs,
And then you get to walk. Yeah, so be it.
Sometimes I get you, but sometimes it behooves you. Let's play ball here.
I say what I say, but I've also, if that does happen to you, yeah, if that does happen to you, I might not entertain your PICRA. However, I will still put what my seller is willing to do on an addendum because I am not Satan. However, I'm not opening the door on the PICRA because that reopens negotiations.
And their ability to lead.
Correct. But I will put what my seller is willing to do on an addendum because that door has closed and we're no longer going to be doing timelines like that. Sorry, not sorry. Did you have anything for us, Jimmy Ray?
I don't know, where are we here?
We're talking about PICRAs and stuff. We've been playing PICRA land.
Specific language is the key for me. And sometimes it sounds almost too specific, but I don't know that there's such a thing. I mean, to be specific as to where the item is, show the picture, show the page number, serial numbers are even past what I've ever done. I was just always specifically kitchen stove needs to be replaced, and I don't go forward to. I say with a comparable. Yeah.
No.
So the serial number thing, if your client specifically wants this, then I get why.
I have unfortunately been in the position of my client needed a new stove or something, and it was supposed to be a new stove, and we said like kind, and it was it went from like a really nice like LG high-end stove to like an Amana low-end stainless steel stove. It was stainless steel. That was my argument. They were like, no, it's stainless steel. They just bought the cheapest version of it.
And I've also included your equal or greater value.
Yes. So, or of equal or greater value.
Yeah.
But again, like, so that's why I've just been like, hey, I looked up how much this stove is. Here's the budget. Go pick a stove that's in stock because it needs to get here prior to closing. Because that's always the trick is not everybody's got these things. Go pick something. Go pick something. And the other thing I'm sick of is I'm sick of these, and I understand, but like these informational purposes only. Okay? And I get that you can still ask for things. I understand. However, please keep it to the things that are most important.
So you're saying the inspections for information only, and you're still asking for things to be repaired?
Yeah, I had an agent do that recently where they were informational purposes only and turned in a PICRA with 19 items on it on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work. But what does work is that if you say you're only inspecting it for your own information and not expecting any repairs, then you're not getting any repairs. If you say we're leaving, I'll say, what's the problem? And
Correct.
that's when we would put in the repair.
Correct. I did one for info purposes only, and it had a brand new roof on it. And that was this one that we were looking at the home inspection. It was for info purposes only. And they had cleaned the stove really well. They had obviously had cleaners in there. And I guess when they had done the self-clean on the stove, it had like blew a fuse on it, so the stove wasn't heating properly. It was like something stupid, right? So like the stove literally, like you couldn't use the oven. And the people who had done the roof had dropped stuff into the roof when they had done the sheathing, and it just broke apart the vents. Like they just separated. So I called the listing agent. I said, "Hey, this is what happened. Like this is what's going on." And she said, "They did what now?" And she was mad. She was like, "Oh no, they broke it. They're gonna fix it. Put it on the PICRA." And I said, "Okay, great, thanks." And those are the only things we asked for.
Well, that makes sense.
Because the roof had been done right before they listed it. Like they're the ones that dropped stuff in it. She wanted them to go back and fix it. The cleaning, obviously the stove had been working until it wasn't. And she was like, "No, put it on the PICRA. We want it fixed."
Sounded like you had a good agent.
Yeah, she was great. I mean, literally, we asked for two things, like make the stove work and fix the vents that the roofing people obviously dropped things on. It was very obvious that they had dropped things on it. Things fall in, and it just happened to hit the vents and like separated them. That was it. Questions, concerns? Anybody else have any fun pickers coming up? Get anything wild lately?
I had the 1.5 million house I sold in December.
Come closer so they can hear you.
Oh,
Please.
I know I have such a meek little voice.
You're so soft spoken.
Yeah. So the 1.5 million house I sold in December, the repairs were none.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening was the buyer said, those run lights that are hanging out back there. I mean, it was like an after inspection / PICRA was waived, period, where they kept adding things to the want list. So all the deck furniture, I mean, they had already given the hot tub, right? And there was a pool and an elaborate deck setup. So, well, we want all the deck furniture. So I called this guy up, and he was very good. It was Chris Bjorkman, I think was his name. You ever dealt with him? But I said, "Listen, Chris, my guys would really like to have the deck furniture." Okay, that's great. And then the next day, how about those lights? I mean, I basically nickeled and dimed these people together. My point being that, and the buyer was my best friend, but just really pressing these people to give them more and more stuff. So and they ended up giving him everything on this big ass deck, pool furniture, deck furniture, the grill, which looks built in, but it's mobile, but it looks like a built-in kitchen type thing. That was not included on the deal, but it got included on the deal. Those Edison lights were run all over the place, and those are not cheap and easy to hang. All that stuff. So that was post PICRA.
But have this and
yeah, right. So but it worked out fine. But I think, and I was talking about this in the podcast just a minute ago, My relationship with Chris,
Mhm.
I think, is what saved that because we both had that servant thing going on.
Yeah.
And you know what? And at that price point,
Yeah, then nobody cares at that price point. I did one at that price point with Ruby Weber, and she's phenomenal. She's kind of retired now, but like in front of her, I walked through one of her screen doors. It was so embarrassing in front of me, in front of her, in front of my clients.
did anybody get a picture of that?
No, but I was like, my client busted out laughing. The other one went, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I was like, "Can somebody just please hand me my pride off the floor?" And
That's actually.
and I was like, "Ruby, I'm so sorry. Let me pay for the," she would not let me pay for the screen. It was like, no, it's fine. Oh my God, I couldn't believe I did it.
I did have
I mean, like my head, like I got an arm and a leg through it and my face bounced off it.
that was hilarious. That was on America's Funny Video. I did have one 4 or 5 years ago for a first time home buyer. This girl was anal about things. And so she followed the inspector around the house.
I gotta love that.
Yeah. And when he opened one of the doors to the hall bathroom vanity, there was a cat box there. And she goes, "I'm allergic to cats. I can't buy this house." So the owner found out, she freaked out, replaced the vanity, the tile on the floor, the toilet. I mean, that night. And I talked to her and I said, "Listen, they can mitigate all that stuff." And she goes, "Okay." And waited until not the condo docs, the homeowners docs were to be signed. So this guy is now on the way to closing. He's feeling like, okay, good, we're going to close it. We've gotten past that. And she said, "I can't buy that house. They had cats." And it was all hardwood. It was hardwood. And it's like, she was a nightmare.
At that point, I mean.
Well, why would you do that? If you don't want to buy it, tell me at the inspection period so we don't drag this dude down the road.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what she did. So I try to preempt any of that stuff now by just saying, I don't recommend you follow the inspector around because there's going to be stuff. So he's going to give you a complete report, but it's not a good idea if you follow them around and look over their shoulder and see everything they're doing. They're going to tell you that.
I usually give them a measuring tape and a notebook. And I'm like,
He's
go,
busy with talking about-
I'm like, "Hey, go see where you're gonna put your furniture."
It's hilarious. It's so great.
That's a great way to distract them. I always, at my buyer's consultation, I compare the home buying process to like speed dating.
Yeah.
And the home inspection is when you meet the parents, and the home inspector is the drunk aunt who's telling you all the good stories.
Yeah, I always give them, I always bring a little notebook for them to keep and a tape measure. And I'm like, "Hey, like this is," and I write on the little top of the thing, like how big a king size bed is, how big a queen size bed is, like how big a twin size bed is, like how big like the L-shaped IKEA couches are, like especially for like first time home buyers, and like how like like your standard size furniture is like. And I'm like, "Hey, do you know how big your couch is? Like, do you know how big this is? Like, like, did you measure any of your stuff?" And like, I write like kind of like how big certain furniture is. And I'm like, "Hey, look up how big this is. Like, where'd you buy your couch?" Like, just keep them going. Like, start measuring door frames. Like, can your stuff fit through this? Like,
It's not stupid.
nah,
Not stupid.
nah, stay over here. Let's play games. Like, let's do other things. Like, "Oh, where are you going to put your table? How big's your table? Like, what are we going to do with this? Like, oh, what about if you put your TV over here?" Like, I literally have them start designing their rooms. Yeah,
Thank you for your tidbits. Good seeing you guys.
you are welcome.
Yeah, gentlemen.
So, sorry I wasn't super deep, guys, but like, I just, I like it to be more roundy table. So, that, it's more fun that way. I wish more people wanted to join us because I've had 7 agents that are not here today asked me to help them write PICRAs in the last 30 days.
if they're not attending the class.
Yes.
Of course.
So fun times for us. So I hope everyone had fun. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. I think we're a little over.
Thank you.
I know we started a little late, but yeah, if anybody needs help or anything, let me know.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chrissy.